Hello, I am the Grand Geek Geezer, and
I think I saw Superman flying.
Yeah,
But that's last week.
I think I saw him collecting comics and talking about comics since 1973. And today, Ray and I are going to discuss. Guess what? The Fantastic Four movie. Dun, dun, dun. It almost sounded like the Fantastic Four music.
That's true. That's true.
So where do we start off? There's just a lot to cover.
I have a question. Yes, sir.
I was going to ask you, were you familiar with the Fantastic Four at all?
So I think I said this to you. For whatever reason, I was not a big fan of family-based superheroes, like whether it was the Jetsons or not that the Jetsons are superheroes, but I wasn't. You know, it's weird. It's weird how you just don't like things. I just didn't like the whole thing, and then making it just reinforcing it more. They made really bad Fantastic Four movies. Not really bad, but they're not. They
were bad.
Yeah.
The one before this was particularly horrible. I mean, so like we could just do a podcast on how bad.
The one with John Krasinski playing John Krasinski played the father. That one or
no?
I know. Good.
I mean, I'm trying to say who played. That was one where you had the thing.
He had a beard. He had a thick beard, and he served on the tribunal.
His name is failing me, and it was a horrible movie. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, it was so. That's how bad it was. We can't.
That's how bad it was. Purge it from our mind.
Right.
This one is it. But so you were familiar with them.
I am, and by the way, everybody, great job on subscribing to Carl's first. Following, at least liking more importantly, Carl's first podcast.
Thank you guys.
Great job. Almost 2,000 people watched it, so that's awesome.
I hope I had a good time.
And you'll see we have a different background, which is going to be more permanent. This is your artwork, right? This is your artwork on display.
Yeah,
much. Yes, this is to show you the multi-talented aspects of Grand Geek Geezer. That's what makes him the Grand Geek Geezer. Yeah. Do you want to just real quickly mention what each of these characters did you name them at all?
They're just they're sort of just generic representations of, you know, I was inspired from some of the heroes from the 40s and whatnot, and I just, you know, kind of put just a generic spin on it. That's all.
Yeah. Very cool. So I saw the Fantastic Four. I really liked it a lot. Even not knowing a lot about the Fantastic Four. And I think that the acting was, and I don't know if it's because they just had really top talent, top flight actors. So I'm not trying to knock the actors that may have played the roles previously, or that the script was better. But I'm trying to, Vanessa Kirby, who played the mother, I thought she was amazing. In that role, and she played. I don't know for those of you who don't know, she played the sister of the Queen in The Crown, the Netflix series, and she became a star with that role, and then she's sort of taken off from there. So
here's a tidbit. Jack Kirby is the co-creator of the Fantastic Four.
And
are they related? No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
It's just ironic.
All right.
You know, Jack Kirby helped co-create Hulk, Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom. I mean, it's just Black Panther. It just goes on and on and on. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. But it was kind of cool. The fact they did a little homage to Kirby and Stan Lee. And one of the scenes where the surfer comes out in Times Square, I think they showed an artist and another man like in a studio, and they're looking out the window. And it's supposed to be a young Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Oh wow! I'm looking. See, it's a movie I would actually watch again.
I think I would. There's a lot of little things.
And why
don't we talk about what a cool move to go with this sort of like retro futuristic 60s kind of vibe. It looked good. It was fascinating. I never got tired of looking at it. It's sort of like are you familiar with steampunk, where you have all these fantastical mechanical devices, but everything's run on steam. So you have like a flying car, but it's run on steam. Right?
No.
Well, that's what they did with this. They took the 60s style and this future, and they blended together and something unique. I wonder if it has a name. I have to try to look it up. But wow, it looked good. I mean, it was fabulous. It was awesome to look at.
Although it did, I'll tell you, this is what threw me off, and I told you this. When it opened up, the opening lettering caption said Earth, was it Earth 828 or Earth?
I think Earth 18 or Earth 820, something like that. We're in
right. So I thought that was the year.
Oh,
and I thought, okay, well, the Roman Empire was still around. So what the hell is this? Like, how is this? And then you explained to me, it's just a number assigned to the Earth planet from another dimension.
yes.
Right? Am I right about that? Yeah.
You
So
are right.
for those of you out there who didn't trying to figure out what the hell that was, that's what that is. Just like we do now. You know, we name planets in other solar systems or whatever we see out in outer space. You give them a name, a number. Right.
Yes.
So that was that number. So basically, it was just a parallel universe, which this movie, I guess, is sort of one could say. You tell me if I'm wrong. Is sort of the gateway, leading into this whole new multiverse. Series of movies that are coming out, especially the ending at and by the way, spoilers, right?
Right.
We're talking about this.
Spoilers.
Yeah, the spoilers.
Stop
spoilers. Now. I'm gonna see the spoiler warning below. But go ahead. So here's my question. My question is, what made this movie successful compared to the other movies?
What made this?
Because it's very successful in the box office.
For years, people have missed the meaning of the Fantastic Four, right? They're not the Avengers, right? They're family first, and then they are explorers who happen to come across a villain or some sort of cosmic crisis that they tried to solve. They didn't do it too much in this movie, but when they first appeared in the comic, it was very unusual. They didn't have costumes. And like families, they bickered amongst each other. So if you can imagine the Thing and the Human Torch, sort of like brothers, constantly teasing each other and going at each other. And they did a little bit this in the movie, but it was fine. They didn't have to go over the top. But at the core, they're family, and people responded, just like people responded to The Incredibles, which up until this point,
which I did like. I did like that. Yeah.
Which was the perfect Fantastic Four movie because it was about the family, but they happened to have superpowers. And this is finally a movie where they presented it. I mean, I was surprised that they came out right away with Sue being pregnant with Franklin. But you know what? At the core, why not? Let's go. Let's go.
But that was really the tug and pull in the movie, right? That was like they're a family. Do they make it's sort of it's like a Star Trek reference, right? Like are the needs of the many more important than the needs of the one, right?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit.
Yeah. So it's one of those things.
I kind of didn't like.
Yeah.
But
it's that struggle between those two things, right? Yeah.
It's the struggle between this is what we do. How can we keep the child safe? Which is of course a metaphor for you just newborn parents and you bring a child to the world. How are you going to protect the child? How when you're a new parent, you realize they're okay in your bubble, but then you have to let that child out into the world, and then that's when you really start, to panic.
Yeah,
and,
good point.
Getting ahead of myself also, but with Mr. Fantastic, with Pedro Pascal, here he is, the smartest man on the planet, and he's terrified. You could tell he's terrified. He can't quantify all these feelings he has now, and then he always thinks ahead. And in the movie they say, he has to think of the worst possible scenario because he's a scientist. He figures it out.
He's very calculating. He's very cold calculating.
Yeah.
And they have a fight about it. They have a husband and wife. They have a fight about it. Like
grounded, relatable thing.
Right.
Let's jump to the answers. We're talking about family. That last scene, which my girls and my wife actually went. My girls always go with me, but my wife doesn't usually. She wants to go see this one also. Okay. And that scene, again, we talk about spoilers. That scene with the car seat, she was hysterical because it was so relatable. Yeah. I mean, it's been years since you tried to deal with a car seat, Ray.
Oh God,
I'm not that far. I have an 8-year-old. Oh my, it's the worst possible thing.
That and those collapsible strollers.
Oh, so horrible. But here you are. You have these 3 superheroes, and they can't figure it out. Although my wife was like, great. She said, man, if our car seat only had like a red sensor that could let you know if it was right or not,
yeah.
would be a great thing.
Yeah.
But it's just so relatable. And
another thing that, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm saying, I think that's what gives this movie, it's a unique feel.
Yeah. And on the family front, also, I thought that him, because, under the happy wife, happy life thing, they're trying to decide, he's trying to come up with a solution that doesn't involve the baby. And she finally says, what the solution is. Because she knows who he is. She knows who he is. But he's trying to be, because they just had this argument, he's trying to now do everything, even though he knows what the answer is.
Right.
He tries to come up with something else because he's trying to please her. But then she says, you know what? Don't try to please him. This is the answer. It has to do with that. But it has to do with sacrificing the baby.
Sacrificing the baby, which is a big, big parental thing.
Yeah.
The dynamic between husband and wife, the arguments, knowing each other,
right.
that plays in.
That was well done. That was all well done.
Fantastic. Being human. He's like, I don't want to sacrifice my baby. I mean, I know I had this argument, but I don't want to. So, and he's trying to ignore the numbers.
Right. But she knows her husband well enough to know that I know what you're thinking, because we just had the argument about why I know you're thinking, but now I'm going to agree with you because I realize there is no other choice, right? So I thought that was actually a pretty beautiful moment, and that's a very brief but very beautiful. It reminded me of a lot of probably my favorite MCU shows, WandaVision. It's about the mother's love for her kids.
Yes,
done so well.
Yes.
So yeah, that was good.
Can I tell you another first about this movie?
Sure.
Yeah, really, really.
I think we all want to know.
I think we all want to know, and I'm going to tell you right now. Right now, it's this guy.
Holy cow!
It's this guy,
Mr. Galactus. You didn't say he was going to make a special appearance.
Yes, well, I hunger.
I thought he was banished somewhere. Jeez.
Yeah, well.
That's where everybody, if you're wondering where he was banished to, he vanished to Carl's house. He's
there. You go. That's where
he's hiding out. He's hiding out. You have himself.
Devourer worlds, eater of babies. No, just kidding.
Now there's a character, not a clue. I had no idea about Galactus at all. After
Dr. Doom, he is like their biggest nemesis. And this is what I'm trying to say. It's a family. They're not even superheroes, but they face like these terrible things.
Yes. Yeah.
Last time, you're going to laugh at this, but if you remember, Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is the Fantastic Four with Michael Chiklis, Alba. Is it Jessica Alba?
Jessica Alba, yeah.
Jessica Alba, that one. And then the Rise of the Silver Surfer. And Galactus is coming. So finally, when Galactus comes towards the end of the film, it's a giant cloud coming to the planet. Fans were pissed. And you can wonder why. After seeing this Galactus and comparing it to a giant cloud.
Oh, it just stayed a giant cloud.
Just a giant cloud.
Yeah, of course. That's crazy. Yeah.
A big storm. A lot of rain is going to come to the whole planet. Like, you don't really, even Noah built the ark, he didn't care, right?
Yeah.
That was lame. But to go with Galactus, the devourer of worlds, is just incredible. It was
that like a great thing for like fans of like, yes.
Yes, right? Galactus is like one of the big bads in the Marvel universe. He eats planets. He doesn't literally eat planets.
Right.
Again, spoilers, a weird scene where he comes down to the planet and smells the plants. I don't understand. He absorbs like the life force, the energy. So the planet is dead or destroyed.
Yeah.
Because he's such a massive thing. He needs all this energy.
Yes.
And they did even a characterization for Galactus.
Right.
Did you get that feeling? He's tired of the hunger all the time.
Well, I found that character to be fascinating because there's a little bit of a oh my goodness. I just had his name in my head. The guy that snapped his fingers. Thanos. A Thanos aspect of him. This tiresome, the universe. I'm going to change things. I'm just tired. I'm going to make things the way I think they should be. Right.
It never ends.
Yeah.
Devour the planet. He satiated for a little bit, and another planet again.
Right. And on that one, the hunger, I just saw. I won't give away this, but I love this Star Trek Strange New World series because it's really It really goes to the roots of the original series more than any other series, in my opinion. Especially when it's a predecessor with Captain Pike. Well, this season, this third season, episode 6, for those of you out there who haven't, episode 6, watch that episode. It's one of the most important episodes of the entire Star Trek anything, because
that's a good
in there. Did you see it? Did you see episode 6? So you saw what I'm talking about, right? That hunger, but the ending is mind blowing. Yeah, that was a great episode.
It's the same idea. It never ends, and
that's right.
He's tired of it, but yes. Yeah, no, that was the thing. But to watch him and stuff, and I mean, it takes from time to time. It took all the heroes to stop them. You know, it was really, really huge geek happiness a moment with Mr. Galactus.
So what about the Fantastic Four portrayal of the Rocky guy?
The Thing.
Yes, the Thing. I thought. Well, first of all, the actor that played him, excellent actor from The Bear, plays Cuz in The Bear. But the formation of the Rock, like what he looked like, that looked exactly like the comic book, right? Am I wrong?
Not only did it look exactly like the comic, but it also looked realistic at the same
time. Yeah.
Incredible.
Him growing the beard, and rocks.
Great touch. They did that in the comics one time. That great touch. Yeah, they did. I mean, it was so amazing that let's go back to the other Fantastic Four, Michael Chiklis, right? He wore a rubber suit, and it was, he did the best job as he could. Right.
Yeah, right.
But this somehow it appeared as if there was actual character in this rubber suit, but in this highly detailed, way advanced suit, because they captured his eyes and made you look like there was someone in there, which is a major thing for the Thing.
Yep.
The blue-eyed of a loving Thing.
It looked like the actor's face. It was like this fusion of the actor's face and the face of the character.
And this rocky formation.
Yes.
Which, if you think about, it's just totally ridiculous. A guy made out of orange rock. Like, how the hell are you supposed to present that? And they did such a phenomenal job. I felt like there was a guy in a suit in there, but like this amazing suit. It was incredible. Another thing they did that I liked, because he has this huge, thick eyebrow kind of situation.
Yes.
You put the hat and it would rest on top of that eyebrow formation.
Yes, just like I remember that from the comics too, when he had to disguise himself. And yeah. So that was well done. It was
so good. The voice was good, but looking at his face, and they did keep a little thing there. Jack Kirby, co-creator and like comic book god, right? He himself was Jewish, and they had asked him what character he relates to the Fantastic Four the most, and he said, "Well, the Thing is the one mostly like me." And as you saw, they were in there was a little temple.
Oh, right. He had a crush. He had a crush on that girl. Girl had she had a crush on him.
Yeah. A little
not so believable. I'm like, okay, well, that's a little. But she has a crush, I guess.
Yeah, she likes big orange dudes, man.
I don't know how they're gonna have a baby, but hey, listen.
Don't go there.
I know.
You don't have to know everything. Particularly Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman's Love Life. We don't need to.
Right. But the whole, so that was well done. I've never been a fan of characters that were flamey, like flames or anything like that. But I thought this wasn't bad. This guy. I don't know who the actor is that played him. Was that accurate? Like in terms of how he looked?
Accurate and better. I mean, you got to have a guy on fire. It has to look realistic, and then you want to see his face at the same time.
Gotcha.
A little thrown off with that character. I thought. I mean, all in all, I'll say Chris Evans captured a better essence of the Human Torch when he did that. But here he just wasn't as goofy, and that was okay. Yeah. My big problem with and this is a problem. Look, when Fantastic Four first appeared, early 1960s, it was a comic book. Very simple science there, right? You go up to space, you hit it by cosmic rays, you come down with powers, right? He invented a rocket ship. They were supposed to beat the Russians to the moon, right? And Reed is the scientist, and Ben is the pilot. He brings his fiance, Sue Storm, and her kid brother. Okay, so that's silly, but that works for 1960, whatever, right?
So his fiance wasn't even a scientist.
No, not originally. No,
yeah,
no.
that is weird. That is
even worse. He was a kid.
Especially the kid brother. That was the thing. Like, why are you bringing your kid?
Now here, and rightly so, and as comics have evolved and sort of reimagined the origin a little bit, they're all like scientists of some degree. You never know what Sue's specialty is, and you never know what Johnny's specialty is.
Right.
You know, at one point with this whole thing where he figures out the language of the Silver Surfer. And the thing goes, how do you do that? He can't even. He barely speaks English.
Right. So that's the impression I got of Johnny, that he was sort of like this, not ne'er do well, but this sort of like goofy little brother. Right, that wasn't that bright.
In the 60s, he's supposed to represent a teenager, so he liked dating a lot. He liked cars.
He
enjoyed the fame a lot more than out of the
immature. Right. But in terms of trying to represent bodies of people, right? Like for instance, I would, I think I would believe you can learn from anybody. Mm-hmm. You could learn from, you could come across a homeless guy in the street. You can come across a nuclear physicist. You can come across anybody from any walk of life, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody that's not even the most educated person. You can always learn something, always. And I think I got the impression he represents like the everyday, normal, maybe not that bright, not that, he's just a regular, immature kid. But you learn from him. Like he came up with something to teach you. Or that he learned himself and he taught the world, or he taught his sister. I think that's sort of the way I interpret his character.
Sure. I mean, he didn't really have a scientific background, as I explained. Probably more inspired by teenage youth at the time. But they gave him something to do. I just wish they kind of explained like what is it they actually do. Yeah. So here's another character that I will mention to you, and we'll talk about his origins a little bit. Is Herbie, the little robot assistant?
Right.
Did you like him, or?
I think he looked a lot like the comic book one. He did. I thought it was a nice. I don't know enough about him other than I know he looked like him. So what is it that you saw about Kirby that you liked and didn't like?
Just a little background. Herbie first appeared in the 1980s. I forgot the specific year. Fantastic Four cartoon.
Okay.
The cartoon featured Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, the Invisible Woman, and Herbie the Robot. No Human Torch. There was been legend for the longest time that the studio, the TV station, I forgot I think it was on ABC, if I remember correctly. They did not want the Human Torch in the cartoon in fear that kids would
light themselves on fire.
That was the urban legend.
That's crazy.
That it was
I can see that happening, though. Yeah, I can see it.
There was already a Fantastic Four prior to that in the 60s or 70s, 60s, and they had a Human Torch, but that was an urban legend. It turned out it was just an urban legend. They couldn't use the Human Torch because there was a license disagreement, and they couldn't get out of it. They couldn't get the rights for whatever reason, so they created Herbie the Robot, which ironically they has like an art consultant, visual kind of guy, Jack Kirby, and he came up with Herbie the Robot. And then later on, they added him into the comic book, and then he has appeared in different variations and whatnot.
Right.
So including Herbie is great. He sort of served like the movies. This movie is like Crypto, if you will. Okay. Yeah. But he's enjoyable, but he doesn't take over the scene in the movie the way Crypto sometimes. Yeah. And the kids like them. My daughters like them.
Sort of like an R2D2 character, also in a way.
A little bit like that.
This goofy little robot that
that you just helped to just had enough emotion and whatever.
Exactly.
One thing I really like, and going back to this retro thing, they take a big cartridge out of Herbie's head, right, and they put one in that says space. So now he's in space mode. And I turned to my wife. I said, "There goes your Teddy Ruxpin," and she says, "Yep, you're right. You put those cartridges in him."
Yeah.
And that's what that was like, going with this whole '60s retro tech kind of thing. Yeah. I thought that was really good. Herbie.
But let's talk now about, to finish up, I guess, the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant in the room?
which is the post-credit sequence, and the introduction of Doctor Doom,
yes,
which we now know from publicity and press conferences, is going to be played by
Robert
Downey
Jr.
And we know that Mr. Downey Jr. played
Iron
Man, right? And so, how do you? And this has been done before, I think, where an actor has played one character and then later on played another character. I think.
I'm sure.
So is this going to be? Is there any connection between Robert, like the Iron Man character, him playing that, and Doctor Doom? Is like Doctor Doom, like really Iron Man in some metaphysical other universe form, and it's really just Iron Man going a different direction?
Yes and no. There's enough material.
Ooh, I guessed at that. Wow.
Yeah, yes and no. There's enough material in the comics that they can go many ways.
Wow.
Okay. So let's look at this whole multiverse thing in general. There was a joke in Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Yeah.
You see Deadpool versus Wolverine?
Yes.
Okay. I
love that. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Oh, it was great. So they're in like the this desert dimension, and they come across Chris Evans.
Yeah.
And he has tatters and wearing the blue.
Yes.
And now they're inspired. They're talking to him as if it's Captain America. And everyone's Captain America. And then he goes, flame on, and he's the torch. There you go. That's your one character being two
That's
different.
right. That's right. That is right.
That was the joke, right? Like that
is right. So Tony Stark in another dimension might have become Doctor Doom.
Traditionally, they're two total separate people, and they might play it that way.
Right.
But there is
but it could be Tony Stark growing up in one dimension, Tony Stark growing up in another, but Tony Stark in one dimension becomes Iron Man, and in the other dimension becomes Doctor Doom.
That's
right?
one way to go. One way to go. Or he's just Doctor Doom, and he just looks like Robert Downey, and you just have to deal with it. There is a.
I don't like that though. I don't like that. That's
well,
like sort of.
I don't know where they're going, because this is like the first little chapter hint of a multi-dimensional crisis.
Yes.
Okay. That's coming. It's something that's going to be called the Secret Wars, and it's going to do with like all these different Earths. I guess in the comics, it's sort of colliding.
Which the Loki series ties sort of.
It's probably going to tie in a little bit to the Loki series. And they do it nice and neat. I hear there's even going to make a spot for the Kang character actually for a little bit.
Yes, that's what I heard.
Big bad.
That's what I heard.
Doom. So I don't know. There's a lot going. I mean, you go back and read your Secret Wars, but that's basically more. There's other Secret Wars, but the most recent one had to do with like sort of these incursions where worlds were colliding, Earths were colliding, and they were trying to save and whatever. And it's going to involve all the heroes. Right. And I will tell you this, and I may spoil it for you a little bit, but you must have figured out when you saw the movie. Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings.
I was going to ask you. That was my last question. I was going to ask you about Franklin.
Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe.
I mean, he brings people back to life, it seems.
Oh, he can do a lot more than that if you go by the comics.
Really?
Yeah. For case in point, there's this thing called I'm trying to remember. I think Onslaught. This villain called Onslaught. It was a fusion between Professor X and Magneto, and he was very, very powerful. And the X-Men were dealing with him, the Avengers were dealing with him, the Fantastic Four were dealing with him, and other single heroes, and they were losing. And in order to save them, Franklin, and he was still small at this time, Franklin created a whole pocket universe. Think about it. A whole pocket universe.
Wow.
Put them in a whole other universe where they could sort of like restart and be happy, quote unquote. Reed Richards eventually figures it out, and they all come back.
Wow.
That's how powerful he is.
Wow. Yeah.
So
there is a coming attraction show. I don't know if Doomsday is coming out first or not before then. I don't know.
I don't remember the order.
But there's a trailer for it where they're showing these the chairs lined up one after the other. Have you seen that trailer?
Yes.
It's a little funny thing when they go to the guy that plays Ant-Man. What's his name? I'm very bad. I'm
Paul
very
Rudd.
bad with actors.
Paul
Yeah,
Rudd.
Paul Rudd. The camera moves down to a tiny chair. It's Ant-Man, and then it goes back up. But the last actor that's sitting there is Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
And he turns to the camera, and I think he says something like that. But it's funny because one of the actors I think listed there is they theorize the actor is going to play Kane.
Okay.
Kane, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe,
That's what they theorize. That's what they theorize.
They got rid of him supposedly, but then they're gonna. I read that they're gonna use him to show how powerful Doom is, and Kang is in a very complicated thing, and I could do a whole episode on this. Kang is somewhat related to
Kang. I said Kang.
Yeah, Kang. Yeah, no, I meant Kang. Yeah, K-A-N-G. He's related to him in some capacity. Yeah. It's complicated. I hope they just don't go down there just using.
No, listen. What they're doing now is really well done. It's it's never going to be perfect, but they do. It's not easy doing it, but they do. I think they're doing a great job.
The end goal is going to be. And now, of course, now this is recorded, so we'll see if I'm right or not. The end goal is going to be X-Men on the same Earth, 616. Fantastic Four on the same Earth, 616. Spider-Man's on the same Earth, 616. Avengers. Gotcha. Everything's going to take place. Phenomenal.
But no DC. There's never going to really be a DC Marvel.
It's funny you should say that. That would be a mistake. But it has to be.
Even though in Superman they show Gotham City, they show the exit sign for.
Well, that's the same. That's the same universe. That's the same licensing characters. Right. But where I'm going with is this.
Well, no, is it? Hold on. Yes, it is. Metropolis and Gotham City is the same. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, my mistake.
Same licensing. No, that's fine.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So back in the 70s, there was the first meeting of these two characters from two different licensing groups. Superman and Spider-Man. It was a giant-sized comic. It's very valuable now, but forget that. If you've never read it, read it. It was the first time Spider-Man meets Superman. It was Lex Luthor and Dr. Octopus. It was really good. And that was successful. And then years later on, there was another crossing of a lot of, Avengers versus, Justice League, and they've done a lot of successful crossovers. Then it stopped for a while, right? It's complicated when you bring two different actors they're competing. Yeah. If they could just do the right timing, right? What a superhero blockbuster that would be, even if you just did Spider-Man and Superman.
Yeah, that would be like the ultimate, right? That's
people would flock to the theater, especially with the Tom Holland and Corn Sweet here. They would be crazy not to. But Marvel's not going to want to do that until they're done with their whole Avengers thing. Right now, that's going to happen, and then DC has their plans. Right. I'm just hoping that it's not too long where these actors can't portray or they're entertaining.
And hopefully they don't fight over the money. Hopefully you just say you split everything 50-50. Sometimes that gets ugly. And
the most successful crossover they did, there was a 4-issue miniseries thing, and they're DC did 2 books and Marvel did 2 books. And it was all 4 together. Right. And right now they're doing a Deadpool versus Batman that's coming out in September.
Wow. Okay.
There's a big event. And we have this thing in the comic collecting world, variant covers. So you have the same story inside, but you just keep changing the cover. And the fan is supposed to buy the cover they like the most, or one that they feel most valuable because it's not printed as much. Right? See. Each company, from what I understand, and we'll see if I'm wrong, 20 different covers.
Wow.
Same story in the book, but 20 different covers.
Wow.
And I guess that's 40 covers each.
Wow.
That's amazing. Amazing. But yeah, if they're smart, they'll find a way to get it done.
Yep.
Well, maybe after the whole big storylines are done, what do you follow up with? Come on, Avengers, Justice League, Batman, Spider-Man, Batman, anything like that.
Yeah.
That would just be great. So
that would be well.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to bring us to an end?
Yep. Thank you, guys. If you've been watching this long, please subscribe. Comments always open right down. Follow the thing. Also, Ray and I work on the Diamond Geezers, where we talk New York baseball.
Yep.
And now we will branch out again. We got Gangrene.
Gangrene Geezer with Vinny.
Yeah, so
He's a Vinny.
He's a Vinny. Let's talk about all things Jets.
All part of the Diamond Geezer Media. Yeah.
Diamond Meat, right. All of them brothers. Great name, by the way, Ray.
Oh, well, yeah, we're going to create a media empire. We got to call it something, right? So,
yes. One quick thing: the spaceship, the spaceship in Fantastic Four was one mentioned.
Yes,
Excelsior. That was Stan Lee's catchphrase. Excelsior, and that's a kind of way, I guess, of giving him a cameo now that he's passed. I guess,
right.
I think you're gonna see more like references like that.
Yeah, dirty old man that he was, though. At the same time,
see, now I'm doing what Pete does. We get and then I come up with a whole different.
I know.
Inside joke. Just to get it.
Any thoughts on next week's topic before we go?
I want to do a review with my girl, so we can hear like a little kid thing on the Fantastic.
There you go.
And the following week, I don't know, maybe we could just talk about the Star Trek.
Perfect.
Right where they are. We've been following it, and I've been dying to talk about it. So.
All right. Good deal.
All right,
guys. Yeah.
Thank you, people. Thanks for listening, watching. See you later.
Take care, everybody.